What's up, everybody? Welcome back to ABC Acres. This is Justin. Today is the perfect fall day. It is about 60 degrees, not much wind, sun's out. This is what we look forward to this time of year. We've got some chores we need to get done. These goats are going through the hay right now, so we're gonna reload their hay feeders and hang out with them for a little bit. And we may talk for a few minutes about our registered goats versus our unregistered goats. Let's go. Before we do, check this out though. Got home, there's a few does just chilling up here on the hill in the shade. All right, we got a little bit of fresh hay in here for the girls. Everybody's munching down. We're still waiting on Mocha right here. That's Maple. Still waiting on Mocha to come into heat. I haven't seen anything yet. She's gonna be way behind everybody else if everybody else took their first time. Mocha used to love me. She'd jump up in your lap and she was all over you. And now she's gone a little bit wild on me. She'll nibble on your fingers and sniff around, but she doesn't really like a lot of petting and scrubbing around on her. Leave that alone. Maple, would you leave this thing alone? Sheesh. Maple clearly didn't want me to show you guys that I cleaned up her dinner table for tonight. Let's put some feed out for the girls. We got some grain for these girls. Poppy runs everybody out of the first tray, keeps the order, so. You used to be bottom of the pecking order, really sweet to everybody and timid. And you've taken over the place, girl. Everybody else just moves back and forth, fighting over what's left. You managed to get a little bit for yourself, buddy. So, registered goats or non-registered goats? That was a big question we had whenever we were first buying our goats a few years ago. There's really no wrong answer. Just kind of depends on what you're looking for. So in case you don't know, registered goats just means that you have a paper trail for that goat. So you know exactly that goat's birthday. You know both of that goat's parents and grandparents on both sides and great-grandparents, and you can trace that all the way back. So it's really neat to have. It can also be a really big rabbit hole you can get stuck in. Ask me how I know. When we first got goats, we decided we didn't need registered goats. We weren't planning on showing goats. We just wanted them for hobby, for something for the kids to be able to have. It was just for fun. So we decided we're just gonna stay away from that route. It was less money. We were going more for blue eyes and cute colors. So Poppy here was one of the first goats we had, and she is not registered. Maple actually came from the same farm as Poppy. She actually is registered, but she wasn't super high priced. She just happened to come with papers. Clover is not registered. We just bought her because we thought she was cool color with this roan color. So she was an unregistered goat, but Cinnamon right here in the middle and S'mores right here, and S'mores' sister Mocha, the wild one on me here, are registered. As we've gone along, I've kind of made the switch actually to try to go towards a more registered herd and trying to do my best to better this breed as much as I can. The Nigerian dwarf goats, there's a lot of impressive animals out there in this breed. I'm not saying we'll ever get to that level, but I would like to build the best animal we can here on our farm. If you just want one or two family milk goats or something like that, you can get a really good animal that's not registered for a pretty cheap price. Clover right here, the 2 years I've had her, she had 4 babies and 5 babies, and she makes enough milk to raise that many babies by herself. And she's just a unregistered doe I bought for not that much money. So don't get caught up in thinking that just because you bought an animal with papers doesn't mean you bought an amazing animal that's just going to be the best thing ever from day one. I do think that it's a good, if you are planning on breeding these animals and having them long term, I do think it's a good idea to go with registered animals. There's so much out there. The registry is packed full of tons of information. These are all registered under ADGA, ADGA, which is the American Dairy Goat Association. I can pull up any history, milk test, if any of these animals have been on milk tests, if their mothers have or their grandmothers, to see what kind of quality milk they produce. So there's tons of info out there. You just have to take a little bit of time and look through it all. And you are also supposed to tattoo every animal that's registered. So, well, Maple's not a good example because the tattoo goes in the ear. Obviously her tattoos are gone. That was probably not a nice joke to play on. Maple here took a little bit of a shot at her. She's a good sport though. But seriously, that is something you need to consider because that's more work on you. You got to tattoo these animals and or microchip if you decide to microchip the animals. And you got to keep track of all that stuff. And if you are required to send in any hair samples for bucks, which I think is coming in the future, it's just a little more effort. You gonna come over here? Come here. Come here. No. From what I can tell, Miss Cinnamon is probably one of our higher end does. So I'm hoping to maybe see what some kids look like out of her this year with our registered buck. Maybe even potentially keep a little girl out of you if she gives us a girl. I know I say this about everything, but it is true. You have to do what fits your situation the best. And these are just my thoughts on it. You may not care, and that's okay. You can move along. If you have any input, you can leave a comment and share it with the rest of us. That would be greatly appreciated. Would you appreciate people leaving you some comments? These two like to swap food, so I gotta separate them and keep an eye on them. Hey, buddy. You still got these burrs. Somebody else has picked up a bunch of burrs in this field too. You look awful, girl. You got them all in you. Go eat your food. All right, guys. We've got all the animals taken care of. Everybody's in good shape. I think we're about to wrap this thing up. So I just want you to consider those few things I told you. If you plan on breeding goats, anything more than just 1 or 2 pets to keep around, I would highly suggest just go ahead and look into registered goats. You don't have to start out with the most expensive goats or a whole bunch of them. Start out with a few, and each year you can gradually work your way up, and you can change bucks around and buy 1 or 2 more, and then next thing you know, you'll have a really nice high quality herd. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It really helps us out a lot. And check us out on social media at ABC Acres. That's all we got. I hope you guys have a great day. God bless.